Yes guys, welcome back to the channel. We are halfway through the season. It's not a prediction video we are doing today. We are doing the team of the season so far. 19 games in, apart from Arsenal, Everton, Brentford and Liverpool, I believe. It's a good time to have a quick review and go through the team of the season so far. I'm going to go through every position. Some there is more challenges than other, of course. Some there is only one pick and one pick only, and you might even know which positions I am referring to. Before I go on, if you do like the content I am putting out at the moment, feel free to give me a like, subscribe and press the little bell notification, and also maybe a little pause before you watch the video and see if you can guess some of the starting lineup. I will tell you beforehand, I'm going for a 4-5-1 formation or a 4-2-3-1 formation, if you will, and I fucking will. In each position, I'm going to obviously have my pick, but I am going to take some consideration, not that that means anything, into other players and explain why I've chosen each player in that position. So, goalkeeper, there are a few standouts. Of course, if you just look on stats alone, the teams that are struggling the most will generally have the goalkeepers who are making the most saves. And the teams at the top end of the league will most likely have the goalkeepers with the most amount of clean sheets. So I didn't base it on stats alone, although I have used some stats to help me with my decisions. In goal, it was between four players: Flecken from Brentford, Pickford from Everton, Raya from Arsenal, and Sells from Nottingham Forest. Out of all these keepers, Flecken has made the most save this season with an impressive 85. I would imagine that's mostly away from the GTEC Stadium. Sells has the most clean sheets at this point with 9 clean sheets, and I believe Forest have the third tightest defence in the league at the moment. And then you have David Raya, who has been in real good form without being ever spectacular, I think, for Arsenal this season. They just look so assured with him at the back, and they have conceded the least amount of goals this season so far. But my pick, and I don't want to pick this guy because, believe me, I do not rate Jordan Pickford and I give him a lot of shit. But in some of Everton's games, he single-handedly kept them in the game, and I think he's just so good for Everton. They have a lot to owe to him for their impressive defensive record. So in goal, I am going to go for Jordan Pickford. Now, we obviously are playing 4 at the back. A couple of these positions I think pick themselves with no real difficulty, but then there's a couple of players in here that I think could have gone either way. I'm going to start off with my wing back, so my right and my left back first, and at right back I only saw 2 real possibilities here. Of course, Trent Alexander and Ola Aina from Nottingham Forest. Again, if we go on stats alone, Trent only has 2 direct assists, which doesn't, of course, tell the whole story because he's been fantastic for Liverpool this season. He's involved in everything that is good for Liverpool. Him and Salah down that side are proving somewhat unplayable at times. Ola Aina's been absolutely tremendous for Nottingham Forest, and I really want a Nottingham Forest player in the team, which made this quite hard for me because I really like Trent. And I really want him in the team, and I think any team of the season, any team in the Premier League is going to have Trent at right back. It helps that there hasn't really been much competition for any other right back this season, but to make sure I get a Nottingham Forest player in the team of the season thus far, I'm going to have to go for Ola Aina, which is quite a change for me because actually in my notes I did have Trent Alexander written down, but I'm gonna swap. I'm gonna go for Ola Aina at right back. At left back, Robinson, head and shoulders above everyone in the league right now. Brilliant player, playing in an absolutely brilliantly managed Fulham side. He looks so good. He's collected 6 assists so far this season. Now, there's more competition at left back than there was at right back. I think Marc Cucurella has been consistently solid. Gvardiol had a tremendous start to the season, but in recent weeks, of course, with the rest of the City side, he looks shot in confidence and he is making quite a few mistakes. Aït-Nouri is another shout. He's been good for Wolves in a struggling Wolves team, and I think Kirkesh has been possibly the second best left back this season so far, maybe equal with Cucurella, but I think everyone can agree Robinson is head and shoulders above everyone in the league right now. Just playing tremendous, such a good footballer, such an engine, such an athlete, and I really like the look of him, and he's playing in a Fulham side that are just really exciting. Right, centre-backs, of course there is one centre-back who just picks himself because he's been by far and away the best centre-back in the Premier League this season. It's, of course, VVD, Virgil van Dijk. I can see the only thing threatening to derail Liverpool's unbelievable season so far is if they lose Van Dijk. I think they can even manage without Mo Salah because they have so much of an attacking array available to them. But Van Dijk is the one that makes everything tick. We've even seen without Alisson, of course, for a few games this season. They have a very, very able deputy in Kelleher. But I just think Van Dijk is the glue that sticks everything together, and he's been so good this season, back to his very best. So Van Dijk takes the first centre-back position, and then the next one was slightly harder because I've written a few names down here. You have obviously Gabriel from Arsenal, you have William Saliba from Arsenal, Milenkovic, Huijsen, Murillo, even Huijsen's partner Zubani looks very, very good. And there's a load of centre-backs here at the moment that are just really stepping up their game. Milenkovic is a clear runner for the signing off the season, and him and Murillo have formed a menacing partnership that has, of course, as I touched on it earlier, seen Forest concede the third least amount of goals. Gabriel has been in solid form and has found some key goals for Arsenal this season, and Saliba has just been Saliba again this season. But if I had to pick, and I'm going to go based on the impact they've had for their team this season, not only in defence but going forward, I've given it away. It's going to have to be Gabriel. I think he's come up with some key goals, and I genuinely believe because Saliba is so good, Gabriel goes unnoticed sometimes. Right, there's my defence. In midfield, we're playing 2 centre midfields and then 3 attacking mids. A right winger, left winger, and a number 10 behind the striker. I think these two have no competition and no argument. I would be very surprised if I get an argument out of anyone on this. It's got to be Caicedo and Gravenberch even. It seems so far this season with his performances, everyone has kind of forgot that Chelsea bought Caicedo for over £100 million after 1 season or maybe 2 seasons at Brighton, but he looks like he's worth every single penny. The way he can protect the defence, the way that he can attack, the way that he can slot in seamlessly at any position. He played him right back in a few matches. He just looks absolutely brilliant, and he's found his very, very best form that made every club want him when he was at Brighton. But the revelation of the season, the most improved player of the season, of course, is Ryan Gravenberch, who's just been absolutely fantastic. Liverpool fans were really starting to worry at their inability to grab a number 6 in the summer after it seemed almost destined for Zubimendi to come in and take that position. The last minute, he decided against it. And I think if you had said at the beginning of the season that actually what was going to happen is that Gravenberch was going to rise from the ashes like a fucking phoenix and be arguably one of Liverpool's best players, I think they would have told you that you had started your Christmas celebrations a tad early. But that's exactly what he's been. He's been fucking phenomenal for them. Absolutely brilliant. And I think he's played Liverpool the most amount of minutes for Liverpool this season, and we can see why. Absolutely brilliant, and I don't think anyone can argue the fact. There's obviously other players who have played good this season. You have McAllister for Liverpool, you have Guimaraes for Newcastle really in recent weeks. Tonali, since he's come back, has looked fucking brilliant. But I think those two are just stand head and shoulders above everyone. Right, now we get on to the attacking mid, and we're obviously going to start in right wing, and there can only be one player. This man started his villain arc when he proceeded to cut off the most loved throw in the whole of Merseyside. Buzz Cut Salah has been nothing but savage this season. 18 games, 17 goals, 13 assists in the Premier League. 26 games, 20 goals, 17 assists in all competitions. A goal or an assist every 50 minutes. Every single great player has that season where they are simply untouchable. And this looks like Salah's season at 32. With his contract fastly running out at the end of this season, Salah has gone into a pure beast mode. And it resembles when you start FIFA on easy mode and you're just battering everyone, and you know what, it's kind of fucking fun. So you don't change the difficulty, because why would you? We like easy things in life. Mo Salah, I've run out of expletives to say for him. He's been absolutely phenomenal, and if he continues at this rate for the rest of the season, it could be very similar to the season that we saw Karim Benzema win the Ballon d'Or. It could be going to the Egyptian king. Left wing, you could have had Semenyo, who's had a very impressive season for Bournemouth so far and looks a really, really good player. But I don't think I can go for anyone else. Matheus Cunha, outside of Salah, I personally think has been the best player this season. 10 goals, 4 assists, and he beat the shit out of a fan. A fan that was cocky to him. So I love it. I absolutely love it. Did he break his glasses? I think he broke his glasses. There's nothing not to like about how Cunha's been performing this season. He's been dragging Wolves through every single game, and if it wasn't for him, I think Wolves would be on par with Southampton this season. 4 points tally. He's just been simply magnificent, and it's real proof that sometimes a player just needs something different, or a very good player just needs a different coach or a different team setup, or to have different responsibilities. When he went to Atletico Madrid, albeit he was quite a bit younger, he's only 25 now, he looked like an absolute flop, playing with much better players in a much better system, in arguably a team that is dominant of the league, bar a few of the teams. Cunha looks nowhere like the player he looks like, and he's just reaching his prime. He's not going to be at Wolves for much longer, I believe, after this season, but he's just been an absolute breath of fresh air this season. In the number 10 role, again, not much competition. It's going to be ice cold Cole Palmer. If anyone thought that this kid was going to be a one-season wonder, then he's already answered his critics, playing under a new manager and a new system, and his quality just shines through like a diamond. 19 games, 12 goals. Palmer has been Chelsea's main man again, and the frustrating thing for him must be that times this season he just seems to have no one around him to perform the same heroics that he is performing match after match. And then that takes me nicely to the front line. Now, I personally believe in world football right now there is a distinct lack of quality centre forwards. However, the three that I had in contention, all within their own right, are fantastic. We have Haaland, of course, who has 14 goals this season. We have Isak, who has 12 goals this season. And we have Chris Wood. Where did he come from? Nottingham Forest were supposed to get relegated, apparently, according to myself, which proves I know fuck all about football. This was a hard one, not because of Haaland, because Haaland's fallen off an absolute cliff with Manchester City in recent weeks. This was a hard one because if you'd asked me just 2 weeks ago, it would have been Chris Wood. without a doubt. He's imperative to what Nottingham Forest do, the way that he brings other people into play, the way that he holds up play, the way that he finishes. He looks better than ever, and I really, really like it when a old-fashioned centre forward comes and shows that, you know, sometimes the basics just work. But the last 6 to 8 weeks, Isak has turned into an absolute fucking unplayable monster. Simple as. 12 goals and 4 assists for Newcastle this season. And it's not just his goals. Newcastle are a much, much better team when he is playing well. The way that he stretches the defence, the way that he links up, the way that he can carry the ball, his skills, his finishing, he is just by far the best striker in the Premier League at the moment, and it's not even close. What Chris Wood has done for Nottingham Forest has been fantastic, but as a striker, Isak can go into any team and improve them. Well, there you go, guys. There's my team of the season so far. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you want to, put your own team of the season in there. And until next time, I will catch you at the next set of predictions, which is possibly in about 5 minutes.